If you're a guy over 30 and you're currently struggling with your body weight and you don't like how you look in the mirror when it comes to putting your clothes on, how it fits around the stomach area, or even when you go away on holiday, you don't feel great around the pool and you feel like you've lost that edge, carry on listening to this video, because in this video, I want to show you how to drop body fat, build lean muscle mass without unrealistic diets or sticking to the gym 5 to 6 days per week. I've helped dozens of guys who've been in the exact same position as you, frustrated and not happy with how they look. And they're in that on and off cycle with getting in shape. And they finally cracked the code by losing body fat, building muscle and getting in great shape for life without having to flip the whole life upside down. Just like Charlie on the screen here, he's got 2 children, he runs a business, but because he was giving himself to everyone, which is good, but it meant he put himself on the back burner with his health, and that affected how he was turning up for work, it affected how he was turning up at home for his family, because he wasn't feeling confident in his own skin. Since working together, he lost over 50 pounds of body fat, and as you can see, he's in fantastic shape. He feels confident again when he's wearing clothes, he's more present at home with his family, and he didn't have to sacrifice his whole life or family time to achieve these results. I'll take my client Sean here. He's got 2 kids, he had a really busy job, and because he was approaching 40, he wanted to feel the best he possibly could. But because he was giving himself so much to everybody else, he wasn't feeling great in his own skin. When he was wearing clothes, he wasn't feeling confident, and he was taking work home, so he could never really fully switch off. In our time working together, he lost over 20 kg of body fat. He had a healthy outlet away from family, away from work, which meant when he went home or went back to work, he was fully engaged because he was looking after himself first. Or my client Scott here. Scott avoided going on hikes with his family because he didn't feel fit enough to go. Even though deep down he wanted to go, he just didn't feel confident to put himself in them situations because he felt like he would hold the group back or he wouldn't be able to complete the whole walk itself. And the final straw for Scott was, he was on a holiday and he looked at a photo of himself and he realised he needed to change because he was mortified with how he looked. In just 6 months' time, he lost over 20 kilos of body fat. He got in the best shape of his life. He was wearing clothes again and feeling confident in his clothes and wasn't worried about how he looked in social situations. And he was going on hikes with his family, with his friends, and he actually came and did Snowdon, as you can see in the picture here. I want you to imagine this for a second. Imagine you've got your next holiday booked, and when you go on that holiday, you feel confident around the pool, you feel secure in how your body looks, and you can actually enjoy the holiday and be present and not worry about looking at photos or worrying about what other people think about you. Or you can actually put clothes on and feel confident in your clothes and not worrying about how certain t-shirts or shirts fit around the stomach area. So when you're in social situations and you're talking to other people, you can present yourself as your most confident self rather than worrying what that other person thinks about you. Or the fact that you don't have to hide away from taking photographs. You can have a photograph and feel confident in your own skin. And you can go to all these social situations and enjoy it rather than always worrying about how you look and how you feel. And you feel enthusiastic with going out with your children or your family without worrying about how you're going to look, how you feel, and if you're able to do the actual walk itself. All without having to drag yourself to the gym 6 days per week or stick to ridiculously strict meal plans. And the best part is you're not starting again every single Monday. You're consistent, you're in control, and you're proud of what you see in the mirror. The reason why this method works is it's not an approach where you have to train 6 days per week in the gym, eat a really restrictive diet to end up just burning out in 3 weeks' time. I use a person-first approach called the CAP method. It stands for consistent, adaptable, and proven. It's built for busy guys who want to get in great shape, feel great about the body, feel confident in the clothes, but without having to sacrifice the whole life when it comes to the career or the family. Whether you're juggling work, kids, and just a busy life in general, this system works around you, not the other way around. Growing up, I really enjoyed playing sport. Even though I was never talented at any particular sport, I just loved the feeling it gave me. And then around 16 years old, I discovered the gym. And then my whole life sort of took off from there. I ended up competing in bodybuilding competitions, powerlifting competitions, and training was a massive aspect of my life. But I came to a crossroads because at around 25 years old, I opened my first gym and I was also a full-time coach. And I realized competing took a lot of energy and a lot of time. I was training 6-7 days a week. I was eating 6 meals a day, and I couldn't commit to doing that sort of regime whilst giving my best self to my clients and also a gym. So I needed to find a different system where I could get in great shape, stay in great shape, but not let it sacrifice my gym or my clients. And that's where I came up with this method over time called the CAP method: consistent, adaptable, proven. And with just training 3 to 4 times a week, 3 to 4 hours a week, I still managed to get in great shape and stay in great shape without sacrificing the other responsibilities in my life. Now, I coach guys through the exact same process because I genuinely believe every guy should have the chance to feel strong, competent and confident with their own body. So what does the CAP method actually look like? It's built around 3 core principles. Consistent, you need weeks where you can stick to something without relying on motivation. This is where we build a system that allows you to stick to something without constantly relying on motivation or starting and stopping. So even on your busiest weeks, you know you can follow through with it without feeling like you're falling off track. Adaptable, it's not a rigid plan because the truth is if you've got different responsibilities, you're going to have weeks that are busier, weeks that are quiet, and you need to know how you can adapt your training system, your diet system, without feeling like you have to follow everything to the exact T, because otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it, because when you have them busier weeks, you're going to fall off track. So this system's built around core principles that allows you to be flexible and adaptable no matter what's going on in life, so you can always have something to fall back on with your training and diet. Next point is proven. I've used this system on myself and also all of my clients. You've seen a few of them earlier in the video, because the truth is you don't need to be perfect to get in great shape. You just need to have a system in place that allows you to be consistent even when life is messy, because when life is messy, that's when people usually fall off. But if you've got a system in place, it allows you to keep going so you can always stay in shape and not constantly fall in and out of shape. If you're like most guys that I've worked with, you've probably tried a few different things to get in shape, like training 5 to 6 days per week, sticking to really rigid meal plans. The problem with this is as soon as life becomes messy, like the kids becoming ill, work becoming busier, other commitments coming up, you fall off track, and then you're in this cycle of starting every single Monday. The deeper problem with this is you start to believe that you need to be perfect to get results, and you don't need to be perfect. But then that starts to leak into other areas of life, how you turn up at home, not feeling great in your own body. But the thing is, you just need a system that works for you, not against you. And that's why the CAP method exists. So how does this actually work when you're in the program itself? So step 1 is you're going to go through an in-depth consultation where you fill out a few forms so I can get an overview of your life. Things like what time you wake up to what time you go to bed, what job you do, the commitments that you have in terms of family, if you've got kids or if you haven't got kids, if you're currently training or not training, the food that you eat on a day-to-day basis. All of this information will allow me to build a plan that's very specific to you, so there's no generic plans that are given to you. It's all tailored to you and your needs. In the first week, what I will be doing is looking at your eating habits, where I'll get you to record down everything that you eat. And then from there, I'll be able to assess what your diet's like. And then I'll be giving you very specific recommendations on how we can start changing your diet to allow you to achieve the goal that you want. In step 2, once I've got all your information, that's where I'll build a customized training and diet program that's specific to your needs, your lifestyles, and the goals that you want to achieve. This way, you'll have a structure to follow that's predictable and gives you the outcome that you want, rather than second guessing yourself if the thing that you're following is working or not. In the training program, you'll have access to my private app where you'll get demonstrational videos showing you exactly what you need to do with each exercise, going over the tutorial of it so you know how to perform it, with the sets and the reps that you need to do. And in the first week of the training program, you're going to go through something called a testing week. In this testing week, I'll be assessing your technique on the core exercises, so I know you're performing them safely, and I'll also be assessing your level of strength. So at the end of that first week, what I'll be able to do is give you the preloaded weights that you need to lift on a week-to-week basis with the specific sets and reps and the right technique, so you know you can train with confidence, knowing that you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Step 4 is your nutrition. So once I review what your diet's like on a week-to-week basis, I'm going to give you very specific recommendations on what we can do to start building a better diet for you so you can get in great shape. And this also includes if you're eating out at restaurants, if you've got business meetings, or if you're traveling, because the truth is, that's why diet plans themselves don't work. You need to know how to eat on a week-to-week occasion, no matter what's going on in your life, so you always feel confident with making the right food choices so it doesn't compromise your body and health. Step 5 is weekly accountability and support. The truth is, guys just don't need more information, they need support and accountability to keep them going throughout the journey. So the way this works in the program, at the end of each week, you'll fill out an accountability form where you'll tell me how your week has been with your training, with your diet, or any challenges you've had on that given week itself. What that allows me to do is look at that accountability form and give you the right support and guidance on every single Monday for the week ahead, so you feel confident with what you need to do on a week-to-week basis. The best part of the form is you can choose how you receive feedback, so it can be given through Zoom, WhatsApp voice note, or text message. So no matter what you've got on, you can choose the appropriate one for you and what you need on that given week. Now here's the thing, you can just keep doing what you've been doing. You can keep starting again every single Monday. You can keep trying the all or nothing plans that never work for you. But the thing is, if you're not happy with how you're currently looking or how you're currently feeling, you need to ask yourself this very simple question. If I keep doing what I'm doing right now, where will I be this time next year? If you don't like the answer to that, this is the sign that you need to make a change. Because if you don't change it, it's going to cost you your confidence, your happiness, your peace of mind, and how you're turning up on a day-to-day basis. Or you can change it. You can stop overthinking it and use a system that works for you and not against you. That's what the CAP method is here for. So if you're ready to start getting in great shape without burning yourself out or starting every single Monday, this is your sign. This is what you need to do. Press the link below to book a free consultation with me. I'll speak to you soon.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I've been in Christian's programme for 18 months now. Started out in absolute terrible shape. Totally lost track of myself and my training. Currently, like I said, my weight is down around 4.5, 5 stone. I can tell in my day-to-day life, more energy, I'm sleeping better, which was a massive factor, and just feeling miles better. Yeah, if anybody out there is in a similar position where you're struggling to get back into shape or you want to start from scratch, I definitely recommend the programme, because Christian knows what he's talking about, and he's always on the end of the phone just to adapt.
Hi, my name's Sean. I've been with Christian for a while now. I was trying to lose weight and get in shape myself, but I realised I'd kind of hit a block where I just didn't have the knowledge, the training knowledge and the nutritional knowledge. The results have just been way more than I expected, and like 4 times better than where I got on my own. I think I would recommend the course to people. 2 things. One, obviously if you're like me, you hit that block and you don't know how to progress.
I'm Ryan Dyson and I've just finished my programme with Christian. The reason I joined this programme again was because of how I did it the first time. It made me feel a completely different person. You can look at the difference, and looking in the mirror is something that I actually am loving at the moment. He literally speaks to you every single week. Anything that you need, he's always there for you. And he sets you up with a plan and the goals to achieve what you need to do as well. So 100% recommend it to everybody.
Before I started Christian's programme, I was quite frustrated with how I looked, healthier felt, and I've felt in a very long time. Wearing two-waist sizes dropped, and I'm now able to wear some of those clothes that I couldn't wear, that were in the back of my wardrobe. I'm not scared anymore about pinging off the buttons and taking someone's eye out. Make that first step and just go ahead and do it. Contact Christian, because as I said previously, if not now, when?